ye, hear ye, the king doth declare ye shall move to Old Town Arvada.
Hear ye, hear ye.
That's right, guys. We're checking out the suburb of Old L-D-E, Oldie, Town Arvada today. Let's go. Guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tim Kampmann for Everything Denver, Colorado, where we explore all things Denver real estate. And today we're highlighting the suburb and city of Arvada. You may have heard about this town just to the northwest of Denver. If we pull it up here on the map, you're going to be just north of I-70, which is going to give you a pretty convenient access up into the mountains, and you're about a 25 to 30 minute commute into the city of Denver. I'm in one of the beautiful parks here in the town of Arvada, just south of Old Town. Now, Arvada is kind of known for having a very charming downtown area. A lot of local restaurants and bars and shops, a lot of mom and pop shops, which make it a very popular area for a lot of people that are looking to get out of the urban areas of Denver, looking for that suburban feel, but still have a little bit of historic charm. It's kind of like the Littleton of the North is what I would compare it to. You guys know I focus a lot of my time kind of in that South Denver metro region, but this is a beautiful suburb that I thought I would make the trip up here and show you guys just how wonderful this area is. So let's take a look around the city. We'll get into some home prices, cost of living, and how far your money goes here in Arvada. So guys, starting off, Arvada is a pretty large city and suburb of Denver. Its population is about 125,000. Now, a big reason Arvada has become very popular in recent years is because of its location and proximity to a lot of the outdoor activities here in the Denver metro. So you're about 25-30 minutes from the downtown Denver area, and they do have a light rail system that runs out here, so it makes it a little bit more convenient for you to get into downtown, whether that be for your sporting events or large-scale concerts. But what really draws people to this suburb is the fact that it's closer to the mountains and closer to a lot of outdoor activities and outdoor amenities, whether that be hiking trails or mountain biking activities. And you are very close to I-70, which is your main thoroughfare up into the mountains for your skiing and snowboarding. Not only do you have about 90 parks within the city of Arvada, but you also have about 4,200 acres of open space. And apparently I missed the memo, and today is mowing day for all the parks here, so I'm being surrounded by people mowing the grass and leaf blowers.
Just mow it all! Mow everything!
But it's all in the line of work for you guys to help you on your move out here to Denver. So let's talk a little bit about homes, style of homes, home prices. So moving to Arvada, what you can expect, median home price is right around $610,000. That's just above what Denver's median home price is. But as you move further out from that hub of Denver, the homes traditionally get a little bit larger. So you're getting a little bit more for your money. These homes are also going to be a little bit newer than in a lot of the older parts of Denver, where a lot of the homes were built in the 1920s, 1930s. A lot of Arvada was built up in the 1960s and 70s, so you're going to have a little bit newer of a home. Some will still require some renovation to bring them up to the current standards, but we have seen a lot of remodels happening here in the Arvada area, so you can get maybe an older home, but definitely remodeled with newer kitchen, newer bathrooms. So if you are looking for new construction homes, we do have that as well. So a lot of land to the west end of Arvada is currently being developed, so you can get into a new construction home if that is what you're looking for. But a lot of Arvada has been built out, and a lot of people that choose to move here choose to purchase one of the homes that's already been established. And if you're looking for something that's a little more entry-level starter home style, they do have that as well. Most of the more affordable units you're going to see are townhomes or condos, and those are going to be in the 350 to 450 range, but you can get a starter home for under 600,000 here in Arvada. Going through some of the pros to living in Arvada. One, location and commutability is very good here for everything except maybe the airport. The airport may be a little bit more of a challenge to get to, taking I-70 east. It's not terrible, but you're on the west end, so it might take a little bit longer than if you're closer on the east end of Denver. Talking about commutability though, you do have the light rail system that runs into Denver for those trips, and if you do have to work in that area, you are also close to Lakewood, and Lakewood is a large city just to the west of Denver, and it's just to the south of Arvada. So if you work in the Lakewood area, very good commutability there as well. You can also get up into the high country relatively easily from that I-70 corridor. Just if you're moving here, I would avoid I-70 on the weekends. It's just packed during the fall time when the colors are changing, and on weekends in the winter when a lot of people are going up to ski and snowboard. Man, this park is getting crowded, and it's like 10 a.m. on a weekday. Don't these people have jobs? Although they're probably wondering the same thing of me. Don't I have a job? I do, helping you move to Denver. So other cool benefits of living in Arvada, like I said, the local downtown area is very nice, very charming. Got local bars, restaurants, mom and pop shops. Also a great Army surplus store here in Arvada where you can get all your camping gear and stuff at a discount. I have another favorite one that's in Inglewood, but man, those places are killer to get good deals on camping gear if you're interested in living outdoors like so many people are when they move to Colorado. You also have all these parks and trails and different areas to enjoy the outdoors. You also have Stanley Lake, which is really nice lake to hike around on kind of the west end of town, nestled up close to the foothills. So what are some of the downsides to living in Arvada? Well, one, home prices are a little bit higher, but affordability is also more of a challenge here in Arvada. And it's not all just tied to home prices, since they are very in line with the rest of the Denver metro area. But something unique about Arvada is a lot more places in Arvada are actually in a floodplain versus a lot of the other suburbs around Denver. So as a result, this is going to make your insurance costs go up. So you're going to have a flood insurance policy on your home living here, which can be $200 to $300 a month. But make sure you shop around if you're thinking of moving into Arvada and your home is in fact within a floodplain. Now, the likelihood of you having a flood here in this area is very low, but since the chance is there, the biggest downside to it is going to have higher premiums on your homeowner's insurance. The second drawback of that is it can actually hurt your home resale value if you're in a floodplain. Now, a lot of agents are not going to advertise that, say, on the MLS in the line of the description saying, by the way, this is in a floodplain. You got to make sure that your agent and you are doing your due diligence. And that's why you got to reach out. It's so important now more than ever to make sure you have representation when you're buying your home, not only to identify good areas that are going to be right for you and your family, but also to know about those little nuances that might not be advertised and you might not know about until you go under contract and your lender tells you, hey, this is in a floodplain 2 weeks into buying a home and you're in love with the home and you don't really want to lose it. But if you had known that on the front end, your decisions may have been different. So make sure you reach out, call, text, or email. I love helping people on their relocations in and around Denver. Whether you live in another part of the country or you live in the Denver metro and you're just looking for a change, I would love to be your realtor for all things Denver. The other downside to living in Arvada is a lot of the homes are older and a lot of the new construction is very expensive. You're going to be looking mostly at $750,000 to $1 million plus on a lot of the new construction that's happening kind of on the west end of Arvada. And if you get further to the east, where you're closer to the pockets of Denver like Berkeley and Twin Lakes and things like that, a lot of the homes are going to be quite a bit older. Now some have been renovated and are up to current codes and standards, but if you're buying a home that was built in the 60s and 70s, 60s and 70s, sometimes you can have wonky electric systems. Sometimes you're on a boiler system, which is not bad, but it just takes extra care and maintenance that are different than having a traditional furnace and air conditioning systems. So when I'm looking at neighborhoods in different parts of town, I ask myself, would I live here, and do I feel like this is a safe place for my family to live and a place where I would want to raise my kids? And Arvada definitely gets a yes on that. I do prefer some of the stuff on the west end and further north than the parts that really butt up to the neighborhoods of like Berkeley and Twin Lakes in Denver. It's just a little bit newer, a little bit cleaner, a little bit better schools. You are in the Jefferson County School District here, so that is not the highest rated in the Denver metro area, although it is better than a lot of the schools in Denver when it comes to overall ranking. So I would say it edges those out. It's not as good as, say, Littleton Public Schools or Douglas County Public Schools, but most of the elementary schools do rate very high. It's usually when you get into the middle school and high school levels that the rankings seem to dip a little bit. All right, guys, so I'm at the Stanger and Lutz sports complexes here in Arvada, and we've moved a little bit to the west from that old town, downtown area. And if you have kids, you are probably going to be here on the weekends. I have not seen so many soccer fields, lacrosse fields, all stacked in together. You could run like 40 games all in one weekend at the same time here. But cool thing is they also got a playground, so if some of your kids are in sports, but some are too small, you can take them to the playground. They also got a skate park, so if kids aren't into sports but they want to do skateboarding and rollerblading and things like that, you got all of that here. So as we move a little bit further to the west in Arvada, we're going to find that homes are a little bit newer. There is some newer construction happening in this area, and home prices as a result are increasing as well. If you want that old town close to the light rail station, close to those mom and pop shops, you're going to be finding a home in the 50s and 60s. Moving further to the west, homes built in the 70s, 80s, and even some new construction happening, and you're going to get a larger home. You're also going to be paying a little bit more for it, but I would say the quality of the craftsmanship that you're going to get a little bit further to the west, as well as more of a neighborhood feel, more of a suburban feel, and closer to your big box stores, grocery stores, and everything you need on a daily basis is going to be a little bit further out. So benefits to living in that interior part of Arvada are the small town charm, mom and pop shops, close to light rail, get into Denver. You're also close to places like Berkeley and the Highlands in Denver, where you have other main streets that are walkable with local cafes and restaurants. But if you're looking for more of the suburban feel and you want traditional neighborhoods, sidewalks, walking distance to parks and other recreation, move a little bit further to the west. I would say that's where the best value is going to be for the money. So something that I've noticed as I've driven through a lot of Arvada here is so many new townhome and condo complexes going up, which is a little bit rare compared to the rest of the Denver metro area. A lot of what we're seeing, especially on like the south end and the west end of town and even out into the Aurora area, are a lot more single family developments, a lot more, if they are multifamily, that are duplexes or paired homes. But here you have a lot townhome styles and row house style homes, which kind of good, but it does mean your neighbors are going to be right on top of you all the time if you do choose to go into one of those. But I And another thing, they are very close to a lot of those either bus stations or light rail stations. So if you're looking for something that's a little more entry level, these are going to be higher scale, so they're not going to be, you know, for sub 400, but you're going to be probably paying 550 to 600,000 for these townhomes. But they are new construction. You're going to have the top of the line finishes when it comes to the interior decorating for the most part, but it's a trade-off. Would you rather have a single family home that is probably going to appreciate a little bit quicker? Something I have noticed with a lot of these townhomes is they just don't appreciate as fast, not as desirable on the secondary market as your single family home. I hope you have enjoyed this tour of Arvada. If you are thinking of a move to Arvada or one of the other amazing suburbs around Denver, please hit me up. Call, text, or email. I got your back on all things Denver real estate. As much as I love making these videos, I love helping you guys out with your move in and around Denver. So be sure to subscribe. New videos every week, and we'll see you on the next one.